Yo, it's Gary X with my first YouTube video, and today I'll be reacting to the Arsenal Forest game. It ended Arsenal 3, Forest nil, and yeah, this is my first YouTube video, and going forward, I'll just be making reactions to our performances, each game reacting. Hopefully, we'll try to get a podcast going soon where we can talk in more detail about, just Premier League football in general and, football in general. Just have a channel where we talk all things football, transfers, and, tactics and all these types of things and just get into the game. Um, but yeah, today we're going to look at the Forest game. And I thought overall, it was a good performance from Arsenal. And not just good because we won 3-0, but good in the sense that I feel we kind of dictated the game. And for the first time in a while, I actually saw patterns of play from Arsenal. I saw us, stringing together passes. I saw Eze linking up with Marino a little bit. I saw Marino with a few clever moves. I saw Eze getting past his man. I saw Madueke was constantly getting past his man on the right. I saw Nwaneri driving with the ball and pushing us forward as a team. I saw um, the defense that was sturdy, which I always see. But I mean, it was good to not just be a defensively sound team today, but actually have good performances all over the pitch. You know what I'm saying? And actually have players, play decently beyond just getting a set piece and scoring a goal. So today I think was a really good game, a really good performance, and yeah, I can only hope that we continue to see more of this. Getting a little bit more into detail with just the individual performances, starting with the keeper. I don't think Raya had a lot to do, but the one save he made for Chris Woods looked like a chest attempted goal. Um, that he actually got a finger on it when I saw the replay. That was a top save, and I think it was a good performance in that regard for Rai. He wasn't tested that much, but when he was, he dealt with it well, and another consistent display from him, a player that we've been able to rely on. Moving on to the defense, I think in the left back position, Caliafori, for me as a player going forward, he's good. Caliafori gives you a lot of quality, especially on that left foot of his. He's got he really has the quality, and we saw that especially in the build up for the second goal, the ball over the top to Eze, perfectly weighted, the way it landed, the spin he got on the ball, really made Eze's job easy in terms of, crossing it to Yokeres first time. So, California deserves a lot of credit this season. He has been quite good for us, I think. But again, he's got defensive fragilities. He does seem like a player who can get beat quite easily. His positioning sometimes is a bit off, but he wasn't overexposed today, and he did all right. I think Urian Timber, another player who's very consistent for us, another good solid performance from him. Wasn't troubled defensively. Did well when he had the ball. Did well in most of the situations he was in. So another solid performance from him. Um, the centre back partnership today was, it was seamless the way Mascara really slotted into that right centre back role. He's really looked good for us, and Gabriel obviously is the most senior player, and you do expect him to play well, but both of them were really really good, and I was thoroughly impressed, with Mascara's calmness, the way he handled the ball when he had it, his composure, his tackling. He looked good. I really liked Mascara. Um, in the midfield, Zubimendi, he's a player that splits a lot of opinion. I think today it was one of his better performances. I don't think he's had that many good performances in an Arsenal shirt. I know it's only 4 games in, but he hasn't looked great in my opinion. Very, very short of what Thomas Partey was for us. But I think he carried himself well. For the most part, he 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 didn't put a foot wrong. You know, I think there's still a lot that can improve, and obviously getting those 2 goals today really boosted his you could say his overall match rating. But I still want to see more from him in terms of progressive passes. I still want to see more from him in terms of quicker passes, more from him in terms of defensive awareness and being able to read situations, because in the Prem, your defensive midfielder really needs to be able to sense the danger before it happens. Teams play quickly, aggressively, so much physicality. You need to be a player that, if you're like Zubimendi, you're short, you're not the fastest, you know, you need to be able to read the danger. You need to be able to sense situations before they happen. And today there weren't a lot of situations that Zubimendi had to face, and maybe that's why I think he was a lot better. But nevertheless, he did well to get those two goals. I mean, the first goal, he struck the ball so well. It didn't have the best direction, but it was struck to perfection, and that's really what got it at the back of the net. Um, yeah, the second goal as well. I was surprised that he's the one who scored the header. I mean, he's only 5'7", 5'8", I assume, and for him to get up that high, the technique he had, it was a really really good header from him. And yeah, moving on to his midfield counterpart, Merino. I thought Merino was fantastic. I saw him over the international break, and he looks like a really good player, technically speaking, and intelligence wise. He has that ability to read the game and make decisive decisions in key areas. And what I really loved about his performance today was that he wasn't as easily taken off the ball as he usually is. Today he seemed like he could really keep the ball, and he could do something clever with it and move with it and even link up a little bit with Eze. And I really like that, because I think our midfielders like that a lot. I think Rice in that position, as much as he gives us a lot defensively, I feel like Marino gives us more in terms of being able to unlock defenses, being able to, you know, um, create chances just through intelligence, not necessarily that split ball or that moment of brilliance like an Özil would do, but he does have that intelligence and the technical ability to execute some interesting moves, which I saw quite a lot of today, and I saw a different Marino today, which I was very happy to see, honestly, especially in that deeper midfield role, which he has been seen to be vulnerable before in past games. So I was really happy with his performance. Um, in the 10, we started with Odegaard. Unfortunately, he got injured, but it gave Nwaneri a chance to play, and I thought Nwaneri was okay. I have high expectations for Nwaneri. I think he's a quality player. He's got so much um, potential. He's got ability. However, it doesn't always translate. His decision making sometimes can be a bit off. Sometimes he can, be a bit lax on the ball. But today, I saw him driving with the ball. I saw him collecting it, picking it up, and I thought it was a positive um, performance from him. Not the best, no, not I think at the required level quite yet. But I think for his age and the way he's developing, you can see there's a bit of maturity coming to his game. So I was really really happy with his performance. Moving on to the front three, Madueke was, I think, the standout in terms of the first half, constantly getting by his man, beating his man, putting in a cross. He was consistently posing a threat, and that's what you want from your winger. You want your winger to be constantly causing issues, and with his pace and even some of his crosses in the first half, he looked like a really good player. And instead of his crosses, I meant corners. The corners looked really 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 good, honestly. He In the first half he had some poor ones later on in the game, and I think in the second half he did fizzle out a little bit, and that's why he was taken out. But I thought he had a good game overall, and I was pleased to see that. Despite whatever you may think about Noni, I think today was a good performance from him, and if he can give this to us every other game, it's good enough, honestly. On the left, Eze looked really good. I liked Eze's performance. I liked the way he was able to give us something different again, in the sense that he could beat a man not just with pace or going around the outside, but dribbling past people and flicks and tricks that were actually coming off well. And I really like to see that, and hopefully we can see more of that from Eze. And yeah, I think overall it was another positive performance. Gyökeres got his goal. Performance-wise, Gyökeres isn't a player who's going to give you a lot in game, but he will give you a goal. He's that type of player. He's a striker, and I was happy that he got a goal today, and hopefully he can score many more for us. In terms of the substitutions, Trossard did really well to get that assist. I didn't see much from him outside of that, but the assist was really good. I think he had a chance as well, which I think he should have taken it with his left. He is a player who can use both right and left. I think he should have taken it with his left and probably scored. Martinelli looked okay. I saw him run around a little bit, but not much I saw from him today. Rice, same thing. He also could have. There was a chance which he could have scored, but that one was a bit more tricky. The ball was a bit ahead of him. He didn't have as much time to react to it, but yeah, he's another player who came on. He did okay. He did all right. Same thing as Skelly, and it's not much I can really say for them. Um, Overall, Arteta, I think playing Marino paid off. Um, I think that there's still more potential for us as a team. I'd love to see us play more dynamic, attacking, fluid football, especially against teams like Forest. We shouldn't go into Forest games wanting to sit back and wanting to, just pass side to side and, defend and be so defensive minded. We should go into games like this, wave and wave and wave of attack. And, I didn't see as much of that today. However, there are players in our team that I look at right now and say, we can make things happen. They can unlock a defense. We've got players who can score goals. We've got pace. We've got power. We've got goals. We've got strength. We've still got a solid defensive unit with backups like Masquera, who slotted in perfectly. Skelly came on today for Caliafori. When Ben White is back, that's another option at right back. We still have Hincap here. There's so many players defensively that we have and all over the pitch now that I think Arsenal should really be in a position where we say yes, we can win this league. And I think, right now it's all down to the manager. Is he going to take off the handbrake? Is he going to allow these players to express themselves? Is he going to promote a more fluid way of playing football so that we can go into games and take the game to teams and not necessarily just score from a set piece and then park the bus, which if it works, it works. But I think over a 38 game season, we need a bit more quality. We need a bit more in terms of creativity as well. So yeah, overall that's my take on the game. Very happy, positive performance. Um, Looking forward to the next game. I think midweek we have Bilbao, Athletic Bilbao in the Champions League, and I'll be back again with another reaction. And yeah, man,